Fatherless to father figure. Here's a stat from the 60s. I'm going to read this because it's so important. I think that we really need to understand this as we get into this next episode of the Genesis podcast. In the 1960s, 65% of black children lived in two-parent homes. Now, let me take you through the rest of the data over the next 4 decades. 65% of black children in America lived in a two-parent home in the 1960s. So basically 7 out of 10. Let that land for a second. Then came deindustrialization, the dismantling of stable families unable to sustain jobs, and policies that basically tore up the black community. Move to the 70s, you start to see the shift. Single mother households start climbing. The 80s, 50%. Half of black children were born to unmarried mothers or single mothers. And then by the 80s, it was over 50%. 50% of our children were being born to unmarried or single mothers. Mass incarceration accelerates. And men, we just ain't stepping up. We aren't leaving. We're systematically being removed. And then by the 90s, only 1/3 of black children were living with both parents by 1995. So think about that. We hit rock bottom in 95. Only 1/3 of black children are living with both parents. To get back to 2000, it goes up to 68%. And then it starts to reverse. And by the turn of the century, 2020-ish, we're starting to see an increase, and it's about 68% of families are either two-parent households or the mother and father is present. But that's why we're here today.
Little did I know how much I grow. Oh yeah, I see why. My mind has been renewed by my ZY. God say what to do, and all I do is OBEY. Christ is where I put my IDE and TITY. This is what happens when purpose and passion, greatness and action, eliminating every single distraction. See, anything you do for a while is gone from a habit, good or bad. Let's get active and obey His commandments. This podcast is really one of a kind. Let's get aligned.
What's going on, man? Hiya. What's going on, team, man? I appreciate you having me on today. I've been seeing this brother. He has a dope clothing line called Fatherhood Apparel. And he has a powerful story. When I watched it, I'm like, man, how did you get to this point from that traumatic experience? And we'll dive into that a little bit deeper. So today, we'll talk about how he made a decision to launch a brand whose main mantra is be present, not perfect. So I want to introduce Reggie George of Fatherhood Apparel, F2. Hey, let's get into it. What's going on, Reg?
CY, what's going on, bro? I appreciate you for having me, man. It's an honor. It's really an honor to finally meet you, bro. We've been indirectly connected for a while, bro, but it's an honor to be here, man. I appreciate you for having me, homie.
No, I feel the same way, brother. And as you see, hey, I'm rocking the Fatherhood Apparel.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's some dope. Man, I be looking at your designs. I be like, man, where this brother get this eye for these designs from?
That's the gift, man. That's the gift.
That's a gift, and you're leaning into that, man. And I've seen some very prominent people wearing it, which is really dope and it's inspiring as well. So take us back to your story, man. How did you launch this brand, and what was it like growing up for you that made you want to launch a Fatherhood Apparel?
Yeah, man. I'm what they call a legacy father, legacy father figure, man. I was blessed to know great grandfather, my father, uncles, man. So that's always who I've been, and has always been a badge of honor in my family, man. Like, I come from a family of men's men. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's always been part of my DNA, but the brand itself, Fatherhood Apparel, the Fatherhood movement, man, came from probably the most adverse circumstance that anybody could probably even imagine, you know, especially in this space, man, when it comes to fatherhood and being a father figure, man. I have twin daughters, man. My girls are 20 now. Shout out to Kennedy and Camden. And in 2019, bro, they were 8th grade. Maybe 7th or 8th grade. Man, got a horrible call from my wife, bro, that something had happened to one of my twins at school.
Oh, wow.
My youngest twin, and I say youngest twin, she 20 minutes younger. But man, a little boy had stabbed her with a pair of scissors in the cafeteria at school during dismissal, man. And bro, just to hear my wife give me that information is probably the scariest. I don't even know what adjective or what word to put around it, bro. Like just to get that call is probably the one part of the story. Cause like I said, we 7 years out now, but that part of the story, bro, just the call alone is the one thing that I don't ever think, and I'm not going to put ever on it, but it's hard to even get past the call. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, bro, the little boy had stabbed her in the head with a pair of scissors, man, stabbed her in her temple. Really almost killing my baby, bro. Like you talking about the blade punctured her skull, punctured her brain, bro. It caused blood clots on her brain. They had to care flight her. We were in Mansfield at the time. So by the time we got to Mansfield, I'm booking at the time. I'm at one of my shops cleaning up. And bro, I book it to the hospital, man, and you get the worst news you can get. Like, man, that thing punctured her skull, punctured her brain. But in all of that, it caused, I want to say, if I remember right, 2 or 3 blood clots on her brain. So they like, we got to get her to Cook's ASAP, or she ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the stone that got thrown into the pond that started things. But more importantly, man, even in that moment, I wanted to know what made a little boy stab my baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of course I'm dealing with all the feelings, I'm dealing with all the emotions, I'm dealing with everything. I really want to kill somebody. But the one question I had over all of those other questions or all of those other emotions was, bro, what would make a little boy stab my baby with a pair of scissors? And at the time, my girls were 13, this little boy was 15. And man, it was a scary situation, man. It was a situation where everything that we say we practice as men and as fathers and as father figures, bro, it got to come into play. You know, that restraint, that character, that integrity. It's hard to be integral.
No, I can only imagine.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody
It's
do
hard
something
to
to your
be.
baby girl.
Hey, man, the Bible says anger and sin not.
Right.
But to try and practice that, bro.
Yeah, especially in that situation.
Come on, man. That's going to challenge every part of your manhood. And especially talking about my daughter, my other baby sitting there, man. She's so distraught. And, you know, she done had to watch her sister get stabbed, bleed out in the floor of the cafeteria, man. Get in the ambulance, man. Now they, you know, we at the point where they finna care flight her to Cooks in Fort Worth. Man, so it was just a, man, I don't even know any other word but to say scary situation. You know what I'm saying? And they care flight her to Cooks, man, and we are met, and anybody who know anything about hospitals, especially in the hood, like, man, my wife and I, man, we met by 2 chaplain in Fort Worth at the door. So I'm like, man, did my baby even make it?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that was, man, that's probably one of the realest, and especially spiritual moments that I've ever had. Like, God, I know you the God of gods, you the God of the universe.
Right.
But I know you ain't about to let this happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know. Come on, man. I know we ain't. But man, we got the report once we got there. She had her first brain surgery, man, which was an 8-hour brain surgery, man. And to sit through an 8-hour brain surgery, bro, it's.
Well, I know you're on pins and needles.
Come on, bro. And then you're trying to be strong. You're trying to be.
Take your time, man.
bro, you're trying to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to stand up in a moment to where where it's just tough.
I understand, man.
It's
First of
just
all,
tough, bro.
I want to salute you for being honest with how that felt. I have twin boys.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
25. And I know that, when they go out or my oldest daughter goes out or they're away from my presence, that's the one call that I don't want to get a call is that
Come on,
something
bro.
happened to your child.
Come on, bro.
And I've had to be on the opposite end where my mother got a call about me at 2:00 in the morning saying your son's been shot. And to hear and understand the agony in her voice, I could only imagine, man. I don't want to park here too long because I know that's a lot, man, and that brings up. I'm pretty sure you have PTSD and anxiety dealing with that situation. So let's move on from that, man. But I salute you, man, for being honest, for just sharing your story with it, because I think we do each other a disservice by being emotionless.
Yeah.
We think that we have to be this piece of stone.
Yeah.
And I understand we have to be strong for our families at the same time, but also people got to understand that we're not robots. We're not we're not pieces of machine, that we have feelings too, man. So I can only imagine what you were going through and what you still deal with to this day. But she's doing fine now?
Man, bro, that's the God piece, man. Like, that thing caused a traumatic brain injury. Like I said, she's had 2 major brain surgeries, man. It caused her to have a massive stroke while she was in her first surgery, man. So she's had to learn how to walk, talk, read, write, everything all over again, man. But the beauty of it, if she walk in right now, bro, you don't. If she walk in now, bro, you don't know nothing wrong with her.
Man, that's a testimony to how amazing God is, man. And I actually have that personal testimony as well. I literally was shot at point blank range, and that bullet missed every major organ in my body except the liver. The liver is one of the only organs that repairs itself.
Yeah.
Still lies in my spine. And so I understand just the gratitude you feel from being able to look at your daughter and see how God has taken something that the enemy meant for evil, and God has turned it and used it for good, blessed you, and the whole nine. Because on the flip side, my mama actually has got 2 of those calls in her lifetime. My baby sister, in 2012, she died of an aneurysm.
Wow.
The night of the Alabama-Georgia championship, SEC championship game. And we were just talking back and forth about the game. I get a call 6:00 in the morning. My mom telling me what's happened. So I definitely understand. I truly understand.
And I hate that, bro. My condolences, man. And again, bro, I don't wish it on anybody. So I can imagine, how your mother felt, how y'all felt, bro. Like, it's just a horrific window, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even in the midst of my baby bouncing back and getting better, it's still a dark, dark valley. Yeah. It's a dark, dark place, man. You know what I'm saying? And then
I understand.
I got twins, man, and then my other baby is psychologically and mentally dealing with what she dealing with, man. So nah, man, I definitely empathize and sympathize, bro, with being in that space.
Okay. Yeah, let's move on past this now a little bit, man. I don't want to have the viewers crying and everything on here, but man, I love your slogan, be present, not perfect. And I see you got this shirt on that says present, and that's a dope shirt. So where did that come from? Was that birth out of this situation?
100%, man, just because it and on the other side of things, the little boy, they locked him up on some juvenile stuff. But as we started going to the hearings and dealing with the legal proceedings, man, that's really where the mantra, the brand really burst. See, a lot of people think it came from me
Mm-hmm.
and just who I am as a father. But it really came from sitting in the courtroom and asking God, like, first of all, how do I not react?
Right.
Even, being
Just close to him.
10 feet away from, and man, God just kept telling me, like, Reg, look down there. And I'm like, man, what am I looking at? I don't want to look at that little boy. But every time we went, bro, I just saw no male representation.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? I seen mama and sisters and aunties, and I'm talking about like 0 men down there. And bro, it just became that aha moment, that revelation of saying, Reg, there's a problem there.
Mm.
Even though you're dealing with the circumstance, even though your baby is fighting for her life, like, man, there's an issue there. Because what you and I might tell our sons and daughters, that lack of presence, that lack of representation is not telling this young man, like, bro, we don't approach no females like that.
Right.
We don't physically. Bro, I got 3 sisters, man. Like, I'm not going to fight their battle. I might protect them.
Yeah.
But I'm never gonna go fight a girl for my sister. But a lot of that is what was instilled from me from my father.
Right.
Even with them. My sisters, man, would jump off bunk beds and hit me and bust my nose and do all stuff. And my pops like, man, bro, you better not even act like you want to do something. Right. But those messages, bro, what I saw in the courtroom became my first step in forgiveness, which is another hard piece.
Yeah.
Because I honored the fact that he didn't know no better.
Mm-hmm.
The messages that you have to have, he not getting those messages.
Yeah.
And bro, that's really what birthed the mantra, be present, not perfect. It birthed the brand, man. I'm talking about maybe 2 days later after our second appearance in court. And this is, man, my wife just had a cricket and we just started putting father figure on some shirts. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the last thing we ever thought of was a brand or anything, man. It was just showing representation like we in here.
Yeah. No, that's powerful. And I say this all the time, and I know some people might disagree, but I believe that the father is the central most important figure in a family. Because one, if you don't teach your sons emotional intelligence, constraint, restraint, how to act in public, how to move, you have situations like that, or you have abusive young men, thinking every time their emotions get the best of them, they're lashing out through physical violence.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, you're teaching your child, your daughters, how a man should love them and how to show up for them. And it really resonates with me with the President Not Perfect, because I got my 30-year-old, she's about to be 30. And you know what, man, I would just honestly say, I thought I was doing an amazing job, but I failed her in some areas. I was there, made a bunch of mistakes, but also, I'm man enough to say that I failed in showing how a man should show up in certain areas. And so that really resonates with me, to be present, not perfect, because I beat myself up. I'm like hard on myself for the mistakes that I've made.
Today's episode number 32 from Anger to Assignment featuring Reggie George is sponsored by Mindset U. Before we get back into it though, I want to take a second to talk about the brand behind this episode, Mindset U. Mindset U is a men's formation and leadership community built for men 18 to 70 who are done running on autopilot. Listen, we're not all talk here. We're about internal order, helping brothers build internal clarity before they chase external momentum. Our mission, though, that's simple. We help build inner order that makes external leadership sustainable. And our vision, forming and leading a generation of men who lead from order, not chaos. Sons first, builders second. If you're a man looking for real brotherhood, real accountability, and real growth, not just another self-help group, check out Mindset U. Details in the show notes. Now back to this amazing conversation.
But, knowing me and her are able to have these discussions, and she's able to, she said, I'm proud of the man that you are, Dad. I see you growing. I see you becoming. Because truth be told, man, there's I talked with Pastor Isaiah on another episode. We talked about being adopted in the orphan spirit. So I didn't know my biological father. If the dude would walk through this door right now, I wouldn't know him except for the fact that people say we look alike.
Got you. Okay.
So, but I did have my stepfather stepped up when I was 4 and adopted me, and he showed me a lot of things about manhood. Didn't talk a lot, but showed up, and he was present. So, as I sit back and think about that, I'm truly grateful for that. What do you say to men like myself that want to show up perfectly and they don't get it right because they don't have a blueprint?
Yep. Yeah, man. I think the one piece of advice, even that I give myself on a regular basis, man, is that you learn 10 times more through failure than you do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in the areas of husbandhood, manhood, fatherhood, because society puts this mark on us
Mm-hmm.
that if you, just like you said, man, if you fail in a certain area or you come up short in a certain area, that means overall that makes you a bad father. That makes you a bad man. Like, man, listen, none of us have ever fathered children
Right.
until we fathered children. And especially if you didn't grow up with that entity in the house, or you grew up in an area that has some deficiencies, or man, we're all learning on the job. And that's where the mantra "be present, not perfect" comes from, is that, man, my advice and my admonishment is to never let anybody hold you to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about it a lot, even in this space, man, is that the more consistent you are, even in dropping the ball, man, the more consistent you show up, the more consistent you are pursuing a thing, the more consistent you become in just saying, man, I'm doing the very best that I can.
Mm-hmm.
Especially our children forget about perfection. They're like, man, my daddy ain't got to be perfect because he show up to everything.
Right.
Even in the spaces where we feel like we fail,
Mm-hmm.
to them, they like, man, listen, I didn't see none of that. See, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
But for our children, a lot of times they like, man, I was just happy you was there. I was happy you picked me up. I was happy you motivated me. I'm happy you encouraged me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that the mantra is bigger than the brand,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I
bro,
believe that.
I don't think any of us should strive to be perfect in any space, especially when it comes to fatherhood and being a father figure.
Yeah, I say that all the time because as I was talking about my father, and I've said this on a couple of different episodes of how I said, man, I wish he would have just spoke more. But then I had to really pull back and realize that this man lost his dad at 7 years old.
Come on.
He actually got thrust into the role of the man of the family, and he's navigating that whole process. So him showing up, maybe he didn't talk a lot, but he was there every day. He showed up to my games, as long as, he was in the Air Force. I grew up as an Air Force kid. And as long as he wasn't deployed in the field or anything like that, he was present.
Yeah.
So it truly resonates with me because now he's no longer here. And I could think back of the other vacations that we took. The things that, we think our kids care about is monetary gifts. I think we fail them by setting them up to have all these things. Now, I believe that you can give your children things within reason, but like you say, that presence means more than a gift, because there are many, many gifts or many things that I bought materially that I don't even know where they're at now.
Come on.
And I spent a lot of money on it. Or toys I bought my kids that they played with for a couple of days after Christmas, and then they sat on the floor, they sat in the closet. But when they can laugh about something that happened on a trip, or riding in the car, or at the movie theater, I really think that's powerful. So for the person that grew up without that blueprint,
Yeah.
like you or I had, where do they start?
Man, community, man. Community is the recipe for a lot of gaps, a lot of holes, man. And that's what the movement, that's what your platform, the Dear Son platform, all of these platforms, man, are here to bridge the gap.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be intentional about saying, and doing the root work,
Right.
the self-reflective work,
Mm.
and saying like, okay, I don't know this. See, a lot of times we let our ego and pride keep us from acknowledging like, man, listen, I'm coming up short over here, or I don't know this, or my kids is asking for this, or they, and you have to be intentional about finding a space, bro, where you can, educate yourself. Education is not just high school, college, and taking courses, man. Like, there's no experience like experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why this movement is called the father figure movement, because it's not just about saying I didn't have my biological father. It's about finding somebody who can help bridge the gap and say like, listen, man, I got a couple questions. Can you help me with this?
Yeah.
Or I'm feeling a certain kind of way. Like, what do you think this means, Reg? Or what do you think? I don't think sometimes we understand how big community is when it comes to the gaps. And all of us got them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of us got them. Because even like you saying, you and I are almost identical in our upbringing, because my father is what people will call my stepfather. He was a military man, and his demeanor was military. He wasn't really, a warm,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Super affectionate. But again, the presence that you and I respected was just that protection, that provision. The lights always on. We always fed, always at the game. But you still have to learn in your own space.
Right.
Like, okay, I might need to be a little bit more,
right.
Have a little bit more communication than he had, but you find that amongst men who can rally around each other and say like, listen, man, you got daughters, bro. You can't be that hard. Can't be that cold with them. Or you got sons, man, but you can't necessarily raise them exactly the way you was raised, because it's a different setup.
Yeah.
But that comes from community, man. I don't care if it's my community, your community, whatever community it is. I think my biggest piece of advice to those who might be first generation fathers and father figures, man, find you a group of cats, man, that you can lean on, and that's going to pour into you in the places that you need to be poured into.
Yeah, that's powerful. Pastor Isaiah on the last episode was talking about finding people that are successful in spaces that you want to be.
Come on.
Right? So finding successful fathers, finding people that are moving like you desire to move.
Yeah.
And I think that's so imperative. And you said one of the biggest things, and it took me a long, long time to swallow, was my pride. Because I always felt if I show this weakness, if I show this chink in my armor, you got one up on me, or you're going to use it against me.
Come on.
But not understanding that chink was really a strength, because once I lean into it, it now becomes a strength that I have. And learning to communicate is powerful. I heard Pastor Darius Daniels, he's one of my favorite preachers to watch and listen to. And he says one thing. He says, when you get better at communication, you get better at life. Like communication helps you in every area, your relationships, your business, anything that you do. If you can communicate well, it really helps you. And just learning how to be able to effectively communicate and show my daughters the difference of what it looks like to be emotionally safe, to be present, to be able to listen, and to not always fly off the handle. See, when I was younger, and I had my first daughter was born when I was like 26, I kind of patterned what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I had to learn that, like, I had to deconstruct from that pattern and figure out what works for me. So even the dad that my 12-year-old gets is way different from the dad my 30-year-old got. Because so I got bookends of girls. So it's like she's getting a better version of me. And I think the other piece to that puzzle is we as men, we got to learn that we have to love our children separately and individually. Because I love all my children the same. No, bro, you can't love your children the same, because they're all different people, different personality. My twins are night and day.
Listen, see why as soon as you said that, that's what popped in my brain. Like, man, I think for probably, and because when they toddlers, you can kind of parent them the same.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But as they grow into their own little personalities and their own little likes and dislikes, and like, man, you really have to be intentional about saying, man, listen, I know they twins,
Right.
but these two different people, these two different individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I heard Will Smith say this, man, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. A lot of times in parenting, man, we try to cultivate our kids prematurely. In other words, if you know that your child is a rose, you have to cultivate a rose.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're a sunflower, you gotta cultivate a sunflower. And a lot of times, man, I think we just get in a space where we want our kids to learn us, but we don't want to learn them.
Mm-hmm.
And great parenting says, I'm learning my children.
Yeah.
See, sometime, and that's the gift and the curse of the era that we came up in.
Right.
We had to understand our parents.
That you had no choice.
You had no choice. Like, man, listen, you don't ask no questions. I don't care how you feel.
Right.
And it wasn't that they didn't care how you feel. It just was like, man, listen, right there. I don't want to hear none of that. Mm-hmm. We in a space, man, where and I think it's fun, man. I enjoy learning my girls.
Yeah.
My girls are 20, man. I'm learning the 20-year-old them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Evolving.
And bro, you know, like I know, man, when these little dudes start coming around and, you know what I'm saying, and dating, and sometimes that's a difficult space, but you also know that you're transitioning somewhere with your children that's making you a better father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to always treat my girls like they 10.
No.
I want to be able to cultivate them like they 20 and say, listen, what we got going on.
Yeah, they're always going to be your babies. You're always going to want to protect them, but then you got to learn to kind of meet them where they're at. And the other piece to that for me, bruh, is I want my children to want to be around me.
Come on, man.
You know, I know a lot of people that just don't want to be around their family. So it doesn't, like my kids will ask me what you want for your birthday or what you want for this. I just want your presence. So even be present, not perfect for us, even for our kids. If you're watching this, like, we want your presence as well, because that's the gift to us, is just being able to be around you, where we can give you some of the knowledge and understanding that we've ascertained over the last, 30, 40, however old we are. And just understanding that, I tell my son, I got one's in the military, he's in Korea. And so he's going through some growing pains. He's being on his own. He's a couple thousand miles from home. So he, kind of getting off course. Smart young man, great young man. And so he'll reach out to me and we'll talk. And I never give him the answer. I'm just going to tell you, hey, man, I can tell you what not to do.
Yeah.
Because I may have made that mistake. But at this point in your life, you're going to have to figure it out yourself. You're going to have to figure out what type of man you want to be, how you look at yourself in the mirror, and if you'll be able to face yourself in the mirror. And so that's what I'm learning in this version of fatherhood, because I got about to be 12, and then I got a 30-year-old. So I got a gap.
100%.
I got 12.
And bro, you're doing a masterful job of listening and learning your kids, man. And as I'm listening to you, bro, that's another piece of advice, man. You never want to become an idol for your kids,
right,
or God. Like, no, I want you to be able to discern, make your own decisions. I don't want my word to become the only thing that you hear, or my advice. Like, listen, I'm gonna give you advice, but that don't mean you have to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about great parenting as well, bro, is understanding, like, listen, man, my son in the military, he in Korea. I'm gonna drop some nuggets on you, but you still got to make your own decision as a man. And bro, that's healthy parenting, because again, you don't want them to resent you later on for something they felt like, oh, daddy said, and he like, nah, I just kind of gave you some nuggets over there, but I didn't tell you that's what you had to. And I know for me, bro, I don't want my kids to feel like coming to me for advice means you have to do what I tell you to do.
Come on, bro. That's powerful, because one thing my mom told me when I got on my own and I got married, she's like, if you see something that works and it works for y'all, use it. If it doesn't, throw it away and find what works for you.
Come on, bro.
Should I even see like the conversations of, you want a man to pay all the bills? That dude make $30,000 a year. How is he going to be able to pay it? Y'all got to work together. So you got to do what works in your house. And I never wanted my children. And that's kind of an area where I wonder, did I fail at? Because I pushed them, but I don't know if I pushed them hard enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And make them try stuff a little bit more outside of their comfort zone. But I never wanted to be that father on the sidelines trying to relive my dreams through my child.
Come on, bro. And bro, again, those are lessons that we have to learn along the way. And those are questions, those are legitimate questions that we ask. But again, we only get one of these to live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whether we push them or we don't, at some point, man, they got to turn the curve and understand, like, man, this is your life.
Yeah.
Whether I push you into something or I don't, you got to understand, like, listen, man, that's your life to live.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And bro, I think a lot of times we underestimate, especially as fathers, the fact that pushing our kids doesn't always work.
Mm-hmm.
See, we and I know me. See, I'm ex-football player, ex-athlete, period. So I want to be pushed to the limit.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive you.
I want to be pushed to the limit.
Same here.
But at the end of the day, everybody ain't built like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my girls both hoop. And bro, I coached them probably 8 summers. You know what I'm saying? AAU, man, and my girls could play too. But Camden, and I don't know if it was just because of her injury and coming back, man, you know, my baby had to play with a helmet on, man. Yeah. She got these parents and kids just kind of ridiculing it. But man, I could push her to the brink of breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy, like, oh man, one little push. Bruh, she going the other way. Like, hold on, I just said this same thing. And a lot of times that's what we have to understand, is that pushing is not a one size fit all.
Yeah.
See, sometimes pushing some of your kids is just saying great job, encouraging them. The other one, it's like, man, you can just you can mash the gas on them.
Bro, I'm laughing because your twins sound like my twins.
My
oldest twin, bro, I gotta kind of tiptoe around it. Because if I come off, you know, they say, well, you're matter of fact. I'm like you. I'm 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
I'm ex-military. I play ball.
Yeah.
So I know, like, go get it.
I'm direct.
But my son in Korea, and you know, yes, sir. I understand. He might get it. He'll come back and he just say, Dad, I know you want me to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So it's just even learning that, man. And I literally learned that in their late teens, because at one point, I parented them the same way. And, you know, again, I'm a matter-of-fact type of person.
Yeah.
And I know, like, even in therapy and like, going to marital counseling, like, it's either black or white. I ain't in that gray area.
Yeah.
And just learning to navigate those areas with your children is really been a journey. But actually, it's been fulfilling for me, because I've seen how I've grown and I've been able to expand who I am as a man.
Yeah. And that's where it's most rewarding at too, CY, because again, like you saying, man, y'all get to build this relationship where now it becomes reciprocal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? See, when they a little bit younger, you just give. But as they get older, now you get to receive, because now they coming back just like you saying, like, Pop, I understand what you were saying now, or I get it now, or I see why you was pushing me over here, or I see why you did this, or I see why you did that. So now, bro, I think it's a beautiful space to be in, especially, bro, as fathers.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult sometimes to have multiple kids. You got more than one kid.
Yeah.
It's difficult sometimes to create a space where you're not pulling one in and running the other one away.
Yeah. That's very true. That's very true, man. And I spend a lot of time doing that, right? Because I can understand, because even my older twin, he's like, my brother, Alan, is just like you.
Mm-hmm.
The other twin is more like his mom.
Come on, bro.
And it was hard for me, because for me, it was like, I know what it's like to be a black man in America. I want you to be successful. I want you to, you know, maximize your life. But the biggest epiphany I have for myself as it relates to my children is my youngest twin. He always tells me, Dad, I want you and Mom to be proud of me. And I always say, no, I want you to be proud of yourself.
Come on. Yeah.
I'm already proud of you.
Yeah.
And it's allowing them to live the life that they want to live. You know what I mean? Because I think so many times parents want, oh, this is my mini me. No, that's not your mini you.
It's not.
That's a whole different person.
Yeah.
And you put undue pressure on your child trying to make them conform to your standard of the way their life should be. And then what happens, they end up living their entire life. Because I know a lot of people say, I just did this because my mom wanted me to do it, or my dad, this is what my dad wanted. And they're unhappy, they're unfulfilled, and they resent their parents.
And bro, they never really turn inward to figure out who they are.
Yep.
Because it's this exterior goalpost that keep moving, because everybody say, man, you look just like your daddy, you this. Like, but sometimes you got to turn that thing on the inside and figure out, like, man, who am I?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell people all the time, in any space, self-reflection is a superpower, man.
Man, yeah.
Because what you're doing as a father, what I do as a father, the Bible says train them up in the way that they should go. And once I know that I've done that, I got to release you to figure out who you are, even in that training.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like as an athlete, man, like we can all be in the same weight room. We can all train, and it's a lot of us in the same line playing the same position.
Yep.
But when we get on that field, I got to know who I am and what I specialize in, what I do well. I can't get out there and try to repeat what the last guy did or what he did or this cat that played at the school 10 years ago. Like, nah, Reg's going to go out there and do what I do, because, again, I have to be released to do and figure out who I am in this uniform. Yeah. And that's the same thing with our kids, man. Like, bro, I want you to carry this last name. I want you to have all the standards and the integrity and the character, but in that space, figure out who you are.
Yeah.
And then now we rolling. Now that's what makes both of us proud, just like what you're saying, because you figured out who you are in the context of being trained up in the way that you should go.
Right. Yeah. And I even told my son, I was like, I might not agree with your choices, but I'm at a point now where I know it's not my choice to make.
Bro, listen.
I wish I could make the choices for you.
Can't.
But I can't. And that's powerful, the self-realization, because that's one of the hardest things for any of us to do. And then the other piece is not just reflecting back, but then actually walking in the realness of who you're called to be.
Come on. Ooh.
Because that's actually your superpower.
Yeah.
Like there are many people that probably speak more eloquently than me. They can paint a picture way better than me, but they're not effective. What I do know is, like, each one of us, we're called to impact a certain group or sector of people.
Come on. Yeah.
There's 8 billion people in the world. So I'm not going to catch every father or every man. You're not going to catch every father. They're going to be people that reflect and resonate with our stories, right?
Yeah.
They see themselves in us. And so that's a beautiful thing, man. And I truly, truly been watching you, man, and recognizing what you've been doing and admiring, like, the build, the grind, because I see not only are you present and perfect in the father figure movement, but you're present and perfect showing up and doing what you're supposed to do and who you're supposed to be. Bro, how does that play into everything?
Man, I promise you, man, you just hit the nail on the head, as we all watch and admire each other, man. I think that's the thing for me, bro, that I love to see, especially amongst Black men, is cats walking in their purpose. Because what it does more than anything, it cuts out all the competition.
Yep.
Because now you and I know we don't have to compete for the same people. We don't have to compete but once we bring those people into the same space, again, the purpose does not get watered down because we in the same space.
Exactly.
We on the same platform. It's the war model.
Yep.
See, everybody got a unit in a war.
Yeah, exactly.
But we all fighting the same war. You know, if it's the World War III, you gonna have Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, whatever. But even in those units, in those areas, they gonna have individual units.
Yep, individual responsibilities.
Where we understand when we come back and say, man, did we win or lose World War III? It's because everybody did their job in those particular units.
Right.
And bro, what I do love about the Dear Son space, the Genesis space, the father figure space, all of these spaces, bro, we don't have to compete. It's no competition because everybody's in that purpose lane.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in that purpose lane, man, like, bro, you understand your individual relationship with the Most High, and you understand your individuality under that. That's the piece that we all have to, and especially when it comes to giving our kids that thing,
right,
we're going to give it to them, a lot of it through these platforms. They're going to look back and say, man, Pop came into his own and he started doing this, and they'll understand that's because I started chasing purpose.
Yeah. That's legacy. And, people talk about legacy or an inheritance, and an inheritance isn't just money.
Come on.
Wisdom is the principal thing, is what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Meaning it's the primary thing.
Come on.
Now, it didn't say money. It's the wisdom that we are imparting in us. I say no competition is all collaboration.
Yeah.
Like, I'm rocking your hat.
Yeah.
Because I like what you're doing. And I think what we show others when we are just about ourselves is that we don't think that there's enough to go around. But God say everything belonged to me. And I learned that this ain't my platform anyway. This God's platform.
Come on, bro. And
I'm just stewarding it.
And see why it's about dominion. We don't have man. And this is what and if you never read Tony Evans' book, The Kingdom, man, mm-hmm. It just tells you about dominion. Mm-hmm. See, you're not given dominion over everything and everybody.
Right.
We are supposed to cultivate what we have dominion over. Mm-hmm. That's where these individual platforms come from. It's about your dominion, my dominion, whoever's dominion. Mm-hmm. is once that thing is that community is built. Now we bring it over here. We bring these communities together to understand now we're doing the work for community, or we're doing the work for the world. We're doing the work but you have to cultivate the dominion or the entities that you have dominion over. And then, man, I'm telling you, bro, a lot of these platforms that we built, bro, are in a season of flourishing, mm-hmm. just for that simple fact alone, man, that even though this is our first time doing anything together, we've still been fighting the same war without competing with each other.
Yeah, the first time, but won't be the last time.
Oh, come on, bro.
Man, I could see a father figure, a Genesis, Dear Son collaboration.
Yeah.
Man, I think if we can come collectively together, because what the Bible say, one could chase 1,000, two could chase 10,000.
Yeah.
Just imagine we all come together. Man, we'll pack out AT&T Stadium. We'll pack out the American Airlines Arena, because the culture needs what we're all champion pushing. And I do truly believe that when we as men, we get in the space of being present and leading.
Yeah.
I remember me and my wife was going through some issues in our marriage, and I was always, well, she ain't. One night God told me, he said, don't worry about her. He's like, you get yourself in order, you follow me, and I'll make everything else fall into place.
Yeah.
So if the head's out of alignment, the whole body's off.
Nah, bro, and that's perfect. That's spot on, even for me in this current space, man. I'm maritally in a space where I needed to hear that today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, just because a lot of times, bro, the man to man, the iron sharpening iron, mm-hmm. is it becomes a mirror. It becomes a reflection of saying, like, man, listen, you the head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what you just said challenged me, because I am in a season where it's like, man, what the book say? It's God, it's the woman you gave me. You know what I'm saying? But when God came out there, the first thing he said was, Adam, where are you?
Exactly. He didn't ask her.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, bro, we do get in spaces, and especially in modern society, where it's like, man, God, it's this woman you gave me.
Right.
And what he gonna say when he come out there? Like, CY, where are you? Reggie, where are you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. Just even if for nothing else in this space, man, I needed to be challenged in that space, because I am in a season where I haven't been reflecting the thing that I'm anticipating from my marriage.
Right. No, trust me. I get it, man, because even what you're talking about, like be present, that for me, that was what, like, I was present, but maybe not emotionally like I should have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when I went on this journey, 2022, 2023, because we were at the crossroads, like the crossroads, bro. And then, I'm, but God. And he's like, hey, bro, you chose her.
Yeah.
He said, I ain't put a gun to your head.
Yeah.
He said, you came to me.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do? And I started to understand is that the way she shows up is a reflection of my leadership.
Come on, bro.
And either I'm going to show up the way that God wants me to show up all the time, because if it's not the right person, God will remove it.
Come on. Yeah.
But he's not going to do that if I'm not showing up the way I need to show. He said, you show up. And so I just started showing up, and then slowly but surely things started getting better, and we started being more aligned. And then, I learned that, everything ain't worth beefing over, you know what I mean? And just learning to, like, soften myself. And, they say a soft answer turns away wrath.
100%.
Even sometimes just the way I respond was probably harsh. So I'm just learning all those things. And the beautiful thing about all that, as I kind of wrap this up, is being able to see my kids or my wife look at me in admiration and say, I'm proud of who you're becoming.
Yeah.
I see the change in you. And now, because I show up each and every day, and I tell the fellas on mine, say, you each and every day, man, you quit worrying about tomorrow. Master today. Get this 8 hours.
Yeah.
Be fruitful, multiply, subdue, and have dominion over yourself today.
Come on. Yeah. That's good, CY. And I'm telling you, bro, that puts new revelation even on be present. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard to be present if you're not in this day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times we are, and life happens, man. So a lot of times you are present yesterday, or you trying to be present tomorrow, and you're discounting today.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, bro, that's the thing in all aspects of manhood, whether it be marriage, whether it be fatherhood, business, whatever it is, man. That is beyond wisdom, because a lot of times, bro, we forget the importance of, like, man, let's capture today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's the definition of present.
Amen.
Like,
Amen.
let's capture today.
Yeah, man. So any brother that's listening to that, and you're going through and you feel like your life is just out of sorts, man, just master the 8 hours.
Come on.
After you get through that 8 hours, break your day up into 3 sectors. 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. Master the first 8, then master that next 8. Because I think that's also a trick of the enemy in, like, society, right? Yeah. They want us to be so fixated on what's going to happen tomorrow, where we're going, what we're going to do, is that we get so caught up and we don't enjoy, and we're not present in the moment.
That's good.
Like, even sometimes when we're traveling, I'll be like, man, put the phone up. Let's just enjoy the trip. Matter of fact, let's take a trip and don't take any pictures.
No pictures, no nothing, man. Let's just play games in the car and sing songs, or whatever the case may be.
Exactly. Just be present.
And then not categorize it as old school or new school. Man, we just bonded. Let's bond. Let's connect. And sometimes, man, it's hard to connect with that device, man.
Oh man, that's a whole nother episode, right, bro. We can do a whole episode on that device.
Yeah.
So, man, I know we've been talking for a minute, man, and we could probably talk for several hours. Shout out to my boy D Johns and your store. We're sitting actually in your store and in D Johns studio. So shout out to D Johns. Shout out to F2 Apparel. Dope spot. Hey, if you're looking for anybody to shoot your content, you need to come holler at my boy D Johns, Dear Son Network.
Second to none.
And then come get you some father figure apparel too, as well. You know what I'm saying? Everybody eats, B. That's my motto.
Everybody eats.
That's my motto. Tell us. No, I'm gonna do this and then we'll go there. So I like to do this thing called rapid fire.
Okay.
So the first question is, one thing that you refuse to compromise.
Integrity. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's even outside of the context of saying I'm perfect in the space, but I'm always gonna make sure I'm integral around the clock.
Right. Because actually, integrity expands capacity.
Come on.
And if God knows I can't trust you with this little bit, you ain't gonna never get to the levels that you want to get to. So I definitely understand that. And no, none of us are perfect, right? I might fail tomorrow, but I'm gonna get back up and dust myself off and say, I don't even call it failure no more. I call it a data point.
Yeah.
And now I know how to take this data. I know how to break it down and say, okay, this is not yielding me the result that I want. So I'm going to change the input to get a different output.
And integrity, bro. The reason why that's my first answer is I never want to have to show up in character.
Right.
Anywhere I go, man, I want to show up as Reggie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to cover up tattoos. I don't want to have to, I don't want to act like I still don't cuss. I still don't. I'm working. I'm a work in progress. But again, the integrity of who I am is always going to be in place.
Yeah. Be true to thine own self.
Come on, man. Say. Come on, preacher.
Second question. One belief that changed your life.
Man, one belief that changed my life. That's a great question, man. I think the belief that money was evil.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Bible says that money cures everything.
That's it.
And that's not saying that's a prosperity gospel or nothing. But a lot of times, man, we grow up with this poverty mindset that money is not a major tool in the tool bag. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even want to go there, but that always baffled me if we say we serve God and God got everything. And if you look in scripture, a lot of the patriarchs were wealthy.
They was wealthy, yeah.
Oh, why do I have to suffer as a badge of honor to say, "Oh, I'm more godly than you because I suffer more than you"?
Or being poor makes you closer to God. Sometimes.
Exactly. No,
that's not true.
Definitely not true. I think it's about what you do with money, and are you going to do anything for it? Because the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. It doesn't say that the love of that money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money. So I think when you love something, sometimes you do anything for it.
Come on, and that's what creates. If it's a tool, just like a regular wrench or a screwdriver or whatever it is, if it's used for the right purpose, man, it's gonna open up a lot of things.
But you say, don't you manage the money, don't let the money manage you.
Come on, bro, that's integrity.
Yeah, they say it's a great tool, but a terrible master.
Terrible master.
So last question, one decision that changed your life or changed your future.
Oh, man. Marriage.
That's a good one. Actually, the second answer I got on that.
Yeah, man. And that's not one way or another, man. I just think sometimes, again, even from a sports perspective, man, I've seen a lot of cats, man, go to teams. I'm talking about talented cats that didn't fit.
Right.
And vice versa. I've seen cats who were not so talented go to the right team and flourish.
Right.
So sometimes, man, who you decide to partner with and team with in this life, man, is a huge decision.
Yeah, I think that's really one of the main things that we should teach our children in this next, for this next generation, is understanding who you hit your wagon to determines your success or your failures. Because it can be like an anchor, and it can take you to the bottom fast, or it can raise you up. And I tell my sons this all the time. It's really something that I learned just over the course of life. Is like, some people grew up in survival. Some people grew up in love. You got to make sure you know how that person grew up to make sure that's a suitable match.
Bro, listen to me, CY. I just said this, man. There are cold people, there are hot people. And it's just as simple as that, black and white. So if you know you're a warm person, you probably want to hitch your wagon to another warm person. And not saying that one is negative and one is positive. Right. Again, when you're trying to do life and you're trying to partner, again, the analogy of the equally yoked, a lot of people don't understand that's not a biblical term. That's a farm term that's used as a biblical analogy.
Exactly, a parable.
It's a parable. And what happens is you have these oxen that they have to be equally yoked, not just to get in the yoke. Right. They got to be equally yoked to go do some work.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what makes people unequally yoked.
Yep.
Because you can be the same size, you can be the same string. But like you said, if you grew up in survival, they grew up thriving. Once you become equally yoked, those two oxen gonna go the opposite direction.
Exactly.
The field that need to be plowed is here. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's not even your size or your strength. It's the mentality that you might carry that says, you know what, I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna go that way, and that's what creates unequally yoked sometimes.
Yeah. And a deeper thing to that, right, is people hate this word submission.
Ooh.
Submission means that I am under a mission.
Yeah.
God puts us together for missions. I have to submit to my wife. I submit to her all the time. Where she want to go eat, what she want to do. That, you know what I'm saying? And then on the flip side, she has to submit to me as well. So it's a mutual thing, and I think we forget that. And we gotta. And the one thing I'm trying to teach my children is, no, don't marry nobody ugly you're not attracted to, right? But observe this person, see how they move, see how they respond when they're angry, see how they handle their money, see how they grew up,
bro. Listen,
because that is their training ground. I have this thing that's called the law of observation. So basically, law of observation, it says what you observe over time, you eventually repeat.
Ooh, that's good. And bro, I'm teaching my girls right now in this season, man, interview that inner man as well as that exterior man.
Exactly.
See, you gotta know the right questions to ask to get to those interior answers. Like, again, somebody can say they're integral, but if you don't have the questions to say, okay, why do you think you have high integrity? Why do you think you have high character? Why do you think you respect women? Why do you think you do these things? You have to have some follow-up questions to say internally, what is your barometer in certain areas? Right. See, everybody can come and it's just like a vehicle, man. Everybody can pull up on you with that thing shining, with the wax, the wheels. But if you don't roll that window down, man, every light on the dashboard on.
Yeah. Hey, you better get the Carfax.
And again, you better get inside.
Exactly.
Don't observe that thing from the outside, because as soon as you get in, you can ask them like, man, listen, I don't feel safe in here.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to make the trip.
Hey, look good, but that joke is shaking when it's driving.
Man, your check engine light on. Like, no, I'm good, man.
You know what? I say this all the time, and then we're going to get ready to shut it down, because I know you got things to do. There's a reason that God put Adam to sleep. I don't think he had to put Adam to sleep for him to see Eve, but he put her to sleep and then said, here's your suitable helpmate. So what that leads me to believe is you got to look, like you said, at that inner first before you look on the outer, because there's a lot that look amazing on the exterior. But if you were to look at their soul, you'd be running.
Riding to the core.
So you said integrity, that money is not evil, and marriage are the three things that shifted your life.
Yeah.
Hey, tell the people where they can follow you at, man, and your website where they can purchase some apparel, your store, whatever you want them to know about.
Yeah, man. Father Figure Apparel on IG, the Father Figure Movement on Facebook, Reggie George on Facebook. The website is f2apparel.store. And everything Father Figure Apparel, man. We've been lucky enough to kind of corner the market. You know what I'm saying? So it's only a Google search away.
Man, and what's crazy is, like, I've seen your stuff on some prominent people, bro.
Man, and bro, listen, quick story. This is what I tell people about obedience, purpose, and a thing that's meant for you. It's a lot of people that ask me how it got in the hands of those people, and see why I have no clue other than doing what God asked me to do. I've never paid for an endorsement. I've never paid to send no merch to nobody, no nothing, man. Sometimes when you build what God is asking you to build, and especially from a place where He know it came from. See, sometimes in Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe always says, adversity introduces a man to himself.
Yep.
And sometimes, bro, we look at the adversity so tough that we don't understand who God is making in that fire. And bro, it's just an honor, bro, to have a lot of these cats in the apparel, but it's done organically. It's done by just taking that, like Will Smith say, man, laying that one brick at a time. Now we got a wall of father figure stuff, man. So I'm just, it's beyond mind blowing sometimes even for me, but it's also confirmation. Like, man, you in the right lane.
You're in the right lane. I said, God might not have you where you want to be, but I feel like He always leaves little nuggets for just success clues. Like, you headed down the right direction. Just keep doing what you're doing. And people, we sometimes we forget that obedience is a central thing. You know what I'm saying? And I know I can get upset with God because God doesn't bless my version of His vision for my life, but that's not what He told me to do. And I'm steady trying to chop down the tree, and the tree ain't gonna fall.
Yeah.
Because I'm using a tool that He told me not to use, or I'm at the wrong tree.
Come on. Yeah. Ooh, that's good.
So that's powerful, man. Thank you for taking the time out with me, brother. I've been wanting to meet with you.
Yes,
Pastor
sir.
Isaiah has been wanting us to connect.
Yeah.
It happened when it was supposed to happen,
100%.
man. Hey, this is your boy, CY. This is the Genesis. Closing nugget for today. Stop consuming and start producing. We spend so much time consuming that you're not producing the thing that God has placed deep down in you. And when you realize the thing that God has placed in you is the thing that He's called you to do, and it's going to open the doors that you want open, you'll stop consuming so much content, so much foolishness, so much madness, so much chaos. Start taking the time to produce, to feed your gates, your eyes, your ears, your mind with things that are going to allow you to produce and become the person that you want to be. Old keys won't open new doors. You bringing a key to a door that requires an access badge, and you're wondering why the door won't open. This is your boy CY. This has been episode 32 of the Genesis. This is my guy Reggie with the Father Figure Apparel. Shout out to my boy D Johns, the Dear Son Network. Like I said, get at him if you want to get some production done. A1, top notch quality. Because soon he ain't gonna be able to do nothing. He's gonna be so out of there.
Yeah.
He's going to be in that stratosphere where we're going to be like, hey, Mr. Johns, can we get on your calendar, please, sir?
Yeah.
This is your boy, CY. This is Jenna Podcast, and we gone.
Peace.